something came out, I would say earlier today, right? This was earlier today.
Yep.
And it was reported by Chris Lowe of On Three, probably one of the sites that I actually pay attention to when it comes to the sport that I love. But it came out that the annual opponents within the SEC conference for the next 4 seasons have pretty much been suggested. And let's check them out. I want to know your thoughts on it. First, let's talk about our two teams. So for Georgia, I think they pretty much got it when it comes to rivals, true rivals for us, because Auburn and Florida definitely lifelong rivals. The South Carolina thing, I think, is a bit of a generational
Yeah.
debate with a lot of us Georgia fans. So if you were to talk to like my dad, who is early 80s, mid 90s, diehard Georgia fan, because he went there, he Letterman there or whatnot. His rival would be South Carolina. He would say, yes, South Carolina is that third rival, should be that rival. But once you start talking to maybe our generation, those of us that lived through late 90s, 2000s, that sort of deal, Tennessee for Georgia fans, for me, I would probably say that should be Tennessee. I understand South Carolina. I definitely understand it. But for me, I would probably say Tennessee. Now, if you talk to like my younger cousins who are at Georgia now, they would throw in the rival of, hey, well, Alabama and all this stuff, like this is a funny but kind of weird little generational debate amongst us Georgia fans as a who's that true third rival. Obviously Georgia Tech, but they're not a SEC opponent. But Eric, what are your thoughts on South Carolina being that third opponent specifically for Georgia?
I like it for you, honestly. I do agree that it is a generational thing because more in the 80s, 90s, South Carolina was kind of one of the teams that Georgia got up for.
Right.
I could see it being Tennessee, especially with the way that it's been going the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I could have seen us, honestly,
Yeah.
with if they were looking for ratings. I mean,
Right. Right.
hell, Alabama, Georgia. I think every single year they play, they break their record for most viewed
Yeah. They
game
normally
of the
hype
week.
it up. Yeah. They
Yeah.
normally hype it up.
So I mean, I like it. I mean, I knew Florida and Auburn were going to be on your schedule.
Definitely. Definitely.
That's I mean, I know it's every 4 season, but that those two won't rotate off.
I
Period.
don't no, not at all. Not in fact, that's a good point because I think after these 4 years, then we'll see Tennessee. I
And
do believe Tennessee will be in that rotation.
yeah, and I'll give you my thoughts on ours in a minute when
Yeah,
we go over that. But
yeah,
yeah, I like yours. Um, y'all have had some interesting games with Carolina in the last few years, so
yeah, yeah.
I like it.
All right. So what about Alabama? What about those three? Because that
I hate
Mississippi State kind of stands out pretty
it.
rough. Yeah.
Obviously Auburn, Tennessee, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Those need to be on our schedule yearly. Um, they could have thrown that Mississippi State game into the trash can. It
Mm.
should have been LSU. 100% should have been
Uh,
LSU. This
yeah.
will be next year will be the first year, assuming that we do not play LSU. It
Mm-hmm.
will be the first year we do not play them since 1960.
Wow. Really? I didn't know it was that.
I
Yeah.
saw a
Wow.
stat on it earlier today.
Holy cow.
So when you think of Alabama's three biggest rivals, honestly, it's Auburn, regardless of how bad Auburn's been.
For sure.
Uh, Tennessee, regardless of how many years we whooped that garbage can ass. And then LSU. I mean, those are the three that always come to my mind.
Mm.
So when I saw that today, I mean, I'll take Mississippi State. I mean,
Right.
it's definitely not as difficult of a game as LSU. I'll say that. I've
Okay.
never had a Mississippi State game take years off my life like I have
Mm.
LSU.
That's fair.
Um, but I don't know, man. I just don't really, I don't appreciate them leaving LSU off our schedule like that. It,
I feel that.
it,
I feel
it
that.
just, and honestly, it's going to give the kids more this year to fight for because if they're not on our schedule next year, they can hold that over our heads for X amount of years. Hey, we beat y'all the
Technically,
last
4 years.
time.
Yeah, they can hold that
Exactly.
over 4 years.
So I need Bama to lock in and let's beat LSU and then we can rub that in their face for 4 years.
I feel you. Okay. Out of all of these schedules, I mean, you just communicated how you feel about Alabama's. We talked about Georgia's. Out of all of these schedules, which program do you feel bad for?
Well, I always feel bad for Arkansas, and I always feel bad for Mississippi State. Um, Auburn,
Yeah,
if I'm being honest, because they got us and y'all every
yeah,
year.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then, usually I'd look at Vanderbilt and be like, hey, that's an easy dub for them. But hell, that Vanderbilt program,
Yeah, it's tough over there, man. It's
it's
tough
on
over
the
there.
up. It's
Yeah,
on the up in Nashville. So, hey, more
yeah,
power to them.
yeah. I mean, I have my concerns about that Texas A&M consistent schedule.
Yeah,
I do like their coach. I really like their coach. I love Elko, but in terms of facing Texas, LSU, and what should be a pretty consistent Mizzou team, that that's kind of tough for me, at least
I
in my
agree.
opinion. So I do like. I think SEC got it right for the most part. I mean, obviously, you know, having Mississippi State, Alabama, that's one of those where you're like, but also it's like, damn, dude, you got Mississippi State got to play somebody, like I don't know of anyone other than Ole Miss technically being a true rival to Mississippi State. So um, I just think that y'all just for the next 4 years you got Mississippi State. It is what it is. You'll have to hear cowbells for 2 seasons and keep it moving from there or whatnot. But I think for the most part, SEC got it. They got it pretty right. They got it pretty balanced. I'm trying to think. There was one that stood out to me. Tennessee's. I think Tennessee's makes perfect sense. Those
Yeah,
make perfect sense. Um, while Kentucky and Vanderbilt are generally not the upper echelon of the conference, those are true rivals to their
right.
program. So I do think that it makes sense. It makes perfect sense for them to consistently play Vanderbilt. It makes perfect sense for them to consistently play Kentucky because that's a big rivalry within that Tennessee fan base, and of course playing you guys. That's a legendary rivalry. So I think for the most part, SEC got it right. Although I am looking forward to getting back to busting up on Tennessee a little bit. So
Hey, you can hold it over their head for the next 4 years. Your kicker blew it.
this is true. This is very true. Main event time, Eric. Before we get out of here, we got to pick our Georgia Alabama game. Kirby's got this monkey on his back, man. It's no longer the he can't beat Saban narrative. Now it's can he beat Alabama? That's the question. So, Eric, give me the keys to victory for your Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm pretty sure we can go ahead and assume that you are picking your Alabama Crimson Tide to come to Athens, Georgia, and beat my guys. So, you give me the keys to victory.
Of course, I am picking Alabama to beat Georgia.
Okay.
If history tells me anything, it's that we've won 9 of the last 10 ball games. So,
What was the
uh,
one that we beat y'all?
hey, that's okay. We were running on 15th
Hey,
string wide receivers, bro.
I'll take it. I'll take it,
Bryce
brother.
Young was
I'll take
running
it.
for his life in that
I'll
natty.
take it. I'll take
Um,
it.
Keys to victory. I think your boy Kirby even mentioned one today. The wide receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get them going. We've got to make sure that we're running the correct routes. That Ty is seeing the receivers that are open. That you know Ryan Williams isn't giving up on plays, dropping the ball. Jeremy's got to be productive. We need Lottie Brooks to be productive. We need Isaiah Horton, who's coming along, to be productive. I think that's one of the big ones. Another big one, I need to see what the run game does. The run game, thankfully we will be getting Jam Miller back for
Jam
the
is
game.
back this week. Yep.
Yep. So him, Kevin Riley, I think those two will tag team very well. So I'm hoping that we can establish the line of scrimmage and we can get these boys off and running.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the most important thing that we need to be able to win, well, two things. Number one, if we get a 24 to nothing lead, don't let off the gas because that whole second half had me. I was puckered. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, we are about to blow this lead. I am never gonna hear the end of it. It's gonna be the reverse Patriots. Like, God dang, I don't want to have to
Yeah.
listen to that.
Yeah.
And then number two, defense. The last 2 weeks, I have noticed Kane Womack has been lining four up on the line of scrimmage.
Mm.
It's looked like 3-3-5 may be gone. He does integrate it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 2 weeks defensively, um, even though it was Louisiana Monroe, you know, defense looked good. Wisconsin, that defense was shredding that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we get Tim Keenan back this week. Thank you, God. Um, corners need to play
That's your
good.
best run defender.
Exactly. Corners got to play good. I want two guys on Zachariah Branch all night. One at the line, one deep. Um, but I think if we can execute what we need to execute, I think it's a win.
I feel you. I like that. Those are all good points, and definitely those are true keys to victory for y'all. Um, Let me go ahead and tell you why Georgia's going to win this game, Eric.
Okay.
Let me break that down. All right, so you brought up Tim Keenan, and welcome back to him. He's the best run defender on that Alabama defensive line. I would say second probably LT Overton, in my opinion. I'm not an Alabama fan. Y'all
I'll
don't.
agree. I'll
Yeah,
agree.
so I'm gonna go ahead and say both of those guys are injured. Both of them aren't playing at in fact, Tim is going to be on a pitch count. So I don't see him playing that whole game. I see him toughing it out. The dude is a tough son of a gun. He's a true diehard Alabama kid because he's
Yep.
from Birmingham. I know that runs through his blood. So he's going to give his 110%.
Yep.
But when it comes to ankle injuries and the kind of surgery and procedure he went through, I truly question how much of a load he can actually handle. That's just physically. That's not me questioning the man he is or the player he is because he has nothing but respect from me. So that's my number one key for Georgia. Run the ball, establish the run game. That way we can take pressure off of your first year quarterback. Now, Gunner had a great game against Tennessee. Went up to Knoxville, did his thing, was efficient, no turnovers. A huge part of that was the fact that we could run the ball.
Yep.
That's a huge part of it. So the number one key for Georgia to win, run the ball, exploit the fact that Alabama's best defensive linemen, and when it comes to stopping the run, are not at 100%. That's the number one key. If you're not doing that, it's going to be a long day for me. Now, the second point, this would be my main point. You were talking about history. History states that y'all won last 9 out of 10 games, but we got to also look at the history of Alabama's most recent losses.
Yep.
Let's look at there's a common denominator if you're talking the Florida State opening surprising loss the way that y'all lost. It's a common denominator. It's a common denominator between that Michigan bowl game. It's a common denominator between Oklahoma as well as what was that? Tennessee
Vanderbilt.
and Vandy. It's a common denominator. That common denominator is two, in fact, two common denominators. And that common denominator, number one, it was on the road. It
Yup.
wasn't at home.
Nope.
Number two, mobile quarterbacks
That's
that can run the ball, that can extend plays, that when it comes down to it, they're willing to run and run through you, attempt to maintain drives. That's Gunnar Stockton.
yep.
So, in my opinion, I think that this game is set up for Georgia to win this game because it's not in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and my quarterback can run the ball if need be. He doesn't have to. And in fact, the first couple weeks, we were all wondering, like, what the hell why is he looking like this? But it was kind of because Kirby was like, hey, I don't need you running crazy against Marshall and getting hurt because we got big bad Alabama coming to town. So this is going to be the game where you see us running those read options. This is going to be the game where you see us running quarterback sweeps, just straight up Gunner running up the middle to extend plays. So I got Georgia winning. I feel pretty confident. I will say I feel pretty confident just because of what I've seen of my defense. I do still feel confident. And that's another thing. The quarterbacks that have beat us in the past, as of 2021, all of those guys could run, mainly Jalen Milroe. I still have nightmares with Jalen Milroe. Do you think that Ty Simpson is one of those guys that can run around like that
He's,
to
he's
that point?
like Jalen Milroe? Hell
No,
no.
no, not
Jalen,
like I'm
or
talking.
just in
Okay,
general.
Jalen Milroe. Okay, the guys that have beat Georgia most recently.
Jalen,
Jalen
Bryce,
Milroe twice, Bryce. Um,
Tua.
no. I'm talking since 2021. That's a fair. That's been 4 years. That's a fair span, right?
We've only played. We played two that 2021 year.
Jackson Dart last year. Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe last year, as well as Riley Leonard. All of those guys are exceptional running
I
quarterbacks.
feel like, and I may be a little biased here. I feel like Ty may be a hair better mobily than Riley
Then
Leonard.
really,
He was the number 2 overall dual threat quarterback coming out. Um,
I don't know, man.
we haven't really seen what he can do in a
Yeah,
run game, and
that's
I
fair. That's
also
fair.
believe that's because we didn't want
Yeah,
A
yeah,
to
yeah.
expose the
That's
playbook
smart.
and B
Yeah,
get him injured. Which I would have, Keelan Russell could have come in and he would have been Jalen Milroe 2.0 for you.
stay over there, Keelan. Stay on the sideline, son.
Shout out to
Enjoy
my
that
boy,
Gatorade over there.
the best third string quarterback
No,
in
thank you.
college football.
I don't even want to hear that man's name.
But I do feel like Ty can be mobile, honestly.
Good enough.
Good enough, yeah. I mean,
That's
I
fair.
don't need him. I don't need him busting 75-yard runs like Jalen Milroe
Right,
did.
right, right.
Um, I just need him to be efficient, and I think he can efficiently get me a first down
Mm,
on 3rd and 4 on a rollout.
mm. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. I just see that the common I see the common denominators is kind of screaming at me with this game in particular.
That's fair.
It's
That's
it's not in
100%
Tuscaloosa. It's not in Tuscaloosa. We
or
have a quarterback that can run the ball, and we're not playing against Jalen Milroe or some other freak running quarterback. At least from what I see thus far. So
you're
that's
you're
that's
also
my
not
assumption.
playing in Bryant Denny East either, so
Ah, true, true, true.
because we own y'all's ass in
Oh,
Atlanta too.
you trying to say in Atlanta? Well, you guys got to get back there soon enough. Luckily, this game isn't. Luckily, this game isn't one of those do or die games for either one of our teams. I think this is a momentum builder game. If you win, cool. That's something you build the resume on. If you do take the L, it doesn't mean that you can't be in Atlanta. It'll just be a little bit more challenging because both of us still have some challenges down the line. I know
as
I'm
long
still
as
looking at some of those teams.
as long as we don't beat y'all and then go into Vanderbilt and shit the bed.
Is
Um,
that who you play next week or
yep,
the following week?
just like
Really?
it was last
Oh
year.
hell
Yeah,
no!
we beat y'all and
Wow,
then Vanderbilt.
wow. And
So I
Diego playing hype
yeah,
right now, man.
hey,
But
shout
we'll
him out.
talk about that. We'll talk about that next week, y'all. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, look us up on socials at Suplex Dinner Club. And be sure to check out our other projects. We talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all. That's a weekly college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, we talk about all things college football. The Life and Times Pod, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast, where I have some chill conversations with some cool and interesting people that I've met in my years in the hospitality industry. And of course, check out Talk 'em in the Building. That's a pro wrestling podcast where we solely focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and we pontificate on the promo. It's a fun project, and if you're a pro wrestling fan, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you're into TV and movie reviews, check out Four Corners Cinema with Ari and Adrian, a podcast where two lifelong pro wrestling fans review film and other forms of media that just so happen to have some of our favorite pro wrestlers. The Suplex Dinner Club family is growing, and I would love for you to be a part of it.